Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, April 30th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, hanging out with my co-host this morning. I got my guys TC Still, and I got the one and only Miss Grace Monroe. Grace, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning. Doing good. How are y'all? Thanks for having me again.
Ellen, how you feeling, TC? Good morning.
Oh, I'm good, man. I can't believe it. What a great morning. We got Grace on the Yankees Morning Brew. I mean,
of course.
I'm honored. It's a pleasure. An honor and a pleasure. Doing great.
It was an amazing show last time. We had to have Grace back again for another one.
Yeah.
But folks, the Yankees won in Milwaukee, and then we had a game against the Baltimore Orioles, and we crapped the bed. We left all the runs in Milwaukee. We scored 36 runs over the weekend. We should have won game one. We'll get into that. But we couldn't score no runs. Folks in the chat, how are you doing? Good morning. Let's do a roll call before we continue. Anna Marie is in the building. Anna Marie, good morning, good friend. Sean Browning is in the building. Big time Jerry Cadill is in the building. Salute to you, Jerry. Impeachable 693, Impeachable, good morning. Norman Soto is in the building. Norman, how you doing? Salute, 3 capital S's. We got over 50 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, like always, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. So I'm going to throw it over to Grace Monroe to start us off in the conversation. Grace, how are you feeling after that Yankees loss?
I'm feeling, you know what? I'm good. I'm still good because I know we didn't score any runs. I know we're all feeling some type of way about it because we've been shut out 5 times, which leads MLB. We lead the MLB in shutouts. Not a good stat to be leading.
No.
But that being said, I feel like we should have won that game. So I know we don't love moral victories, but regardless, we looked better than them. We should have won. They only scored 2 runs. 1 run was a solo home run, like BFD, and the other run was scored on an error. So to me, we had 7 hits. We out-hit them. We just got to bring the runs in. I think if we just tighten that up, just do whatever we have to do to bring the runs in, they got to learn this.
Yeah.
They're learning it early in the year. I do love that. Learn it early and then get rolling and don't do it anymore. You know what I mean? But I feel good about going into the rest of the series. So I still feel like we're going to take the series. Maybe we win the next 3.
I hope.
I'm calling it.
I hope, Grace. I hope. TC, I'll throw it over to you. How are you feeling after the last night's loss? Go ahead, bro.
I'm sure glad that Grace is here because her positivity is, through the roof because is needed because I am so frustrated. I'm like this every time I see this pitching performance wasted every time, 5 times. And this team just can't score runs when they need it. Yeah. They can score 30 in Milwaukee in 2 days. Big deal, But when we need it and we're playing a good team and these runs and these games matter, they just can't do it. And so many there was 1 inning where, so many things went wrong for them. They could have had, 2-3 runs. Stanton gets thrown out on a single, bad call to Rizzo was a strike 3. It should have been a walk, and then Glaber comes up with a clutch hit that should have scored a run. So it's just been frustrating. And then Volpe's error that capped it off. It just so frustrating. Clark Schmidt pitched a heck of a game. The bullpen was right there, saved them, to try to come back, but they just cannot manufacture runs, and it's really going to be a big problem. That it is.
It's definitely going to be a big problem because coming into the season, we thought we fixed the offense, right? Our glaring concern was the pitching staff, especially in spring training when Garrett Cole went down. We thought that we fixed the lineup just by adding Juan Soto. And when you look at Juan Soto's numbers, they're amazing. He's hitting well over 300. His OPS is over 1,000. His on-base percentage is well over 400. When you look at the numbers for Juan Soto, you would think this offense should be clicking. But it's Juan Soto and everybody else just disappeared. Aaron Judge started waking up over the weekend in Milwaukee. I know that. He hit some home runs over there. It looked amazing. 1 for 4 today, right? He had an opportunity with runners in scoring position. Didn't come through. Was in left field for the first time as well in his career. I know he played left field in spring training, but the first time in an actual big league game. So I want to keep Grace's positivity going. I hope the Yankees are able to take this series, but losing the first game out of 4 against your division rival that won the division last year is not a good way to start the test. I was talking about it on the last show last week, TC. Well, not the last show, but the second to last show. I said at the start of the season, the Houston Astros, it was a great litmus test to see where the Yankees are at, right, for this season. Going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks was another litmus test to see just where the Yankees are at. Let's great to see where it's at. This series against Baltimore was another one of those tests. And losing the first game against Baltimore with so many runners in scoring position, was like 7 runners in scoring position that we left on base, and we couldn't get anyone in. And again, like Grace said, they scored their runs on a home run and an error. That's how they scored their runs. We didn't lose 10-0 to the Baltimore Orioles. We lost 2-0, and it was more mental mistakes than anything else. We threw the game away. We gave it to the Baltimore Orioles. Yes, you could give, don't want to bag on Giancarlo Stanton, but as a big league player, you should know that ball's going in the outfield. You should have a better read on that ball. I get it. It's a judgment call. You got 1.3 seconds to figure out if you should go, if you should not go, right? Once he figured it out, I give him credit because he bust his ass, try to get to second. Santander, those are just one of those plays. And Austin Wells, one of the most unluckiest players in Major League Baseball this season. Austin Wells, I'm not sure if he stepped on a crack. I'm not sure if he broke a mirror. I'm not sure if he has to throw some salt over his shoulder. Whatever he has to do to figure out his bad luck, Austin Wells, go ahead. I know some Puerto Rican ladies on the Grand Concourse who can help you out, Austin. Go ahead, Grace.
He didn't forward that chain email he should have forwarded. Yeah, but my thing is, it's not like we weren't hitting. It's not like we were shut out and the bats were silent. They weren't silent. We had 7 hits. 7 hits. Should have been enough to get 2 across, to tie the game. And if we had tighter defense, 2 would have won. If we had tighter defense last night, 2 runs would have won the game. So I just feel like, when we got shut out last year, and everybody who came up to the plate was lost and just struck out, and it was so frustrating to watch. That's not what we saw last night, at least in my opinion. That's not what we looked like last night. We just couldn't bring them home, which is a problem, but we can solve that problem. We can't solve the problem of 9 batters coming up being lost at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it could be worse. I don't know.
Yeah,
go ahead.
TC. You're right. I mean, we had plenty of hits. It's just they don't get at the right time. They'll get 2 men on. 3. They'll load the bases is like kryptonite. They load the bases and do nothing. It's what was embarrassing to me was when it was in Milwaukee when Jake Bauers loaded the bases and they didn't score. That was embarrassing to me. But that's a different game, and we didn't care because we were crushing them. But that's the type of Yankees that we have here. They do this all the time. They just sit around and wait for the home run. And it's not, this is not going to work against the Orioles. They're not going to be, give it up. It's not like the old Orioles, back in the mid 2000s where they were just, tanking. This is a good team, good young team, and we have to match them. And maybe it's a problem with our lineup because we don't have guys in the middle or at the right time to come through with bunting moving runners over, or the speed on the bases is just not enough and they get thrown out because we get 4 hits in an inning and we can't score. Maybe it's unlucky. I don't know what this is it's just frustrating to me. It's very, very frustrating. So something has to happen. It's got to change. It's really
It does. Well, I'll bring up the graphics that I made. I want to just shout out some more people. My guy Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball. Rich is fighting with the autocorrect on his computer right now. I'm not sure what's going on. Erica Garcia, shout out to Erica. Erica said, "Nah, I was at the game. That was a hard play to read. Stanton would have been doubled up if he took another step towards second and it gets caught." Right. Absolutely, and that's a 50-50. As much as we want to get on Giancarlo Stanton for what I think should have been a better read on the ball, it's hard. The positioning, like Erica said, she was at the game yesterday, and shout out to you and your mom. I saw the pictures, but Erica was at the game, and that's a hard judgment call right there. So that's one that's 50-50. Do I think Giancarlo Stanton is the only player that get thrown out at second base in Major League Baseball on that play? Absolutely not. I know for damn sure if Jose Trevino was on first base, he gets thrown out at second base. If Anthony Rizzo was at first base, Anthony Rizzo gets thrown out at second base. It's not just a Giancarlo Stanton issue just because Giancarlo Stanton can't run. There's so many other major league players out there that if they were in that position like Giancarlo Stanton, they would have been thrown out at second base as well. So we just can't point the finger at Giancarlo Stanton and say, ha, you can't run no more. You just can't do that. Yeah. Shout out to my guy John Cooper in the chat. Jeep, the best in the building. 4th or 5th shutout so early in the season is unacceptable. No, it definitely is. Before the season started, I was looking at like future bets, and there was one bet that I was like, nah, I ain't gonna take this one. It's for the Yankees to not be shut out for the entire season, and we were shut out literally that first week of the season. So I wish there was a bet for the most shutouts in the first month of the season. I think I would have took that bet. But talking about Giancarlo Stanton, I just want to bring it up, right? Brian Hoach, he pointed out Giancarlo Stanton. He was forced out at second base with Austin Wells losing a hit at the same time. Like I said, Giancarlo Stanton is not the only Major League Baseball player that gets thrown out at second base. But for the season, Giancarlo Stanton, he's batting .240. He has 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, and a 777 OPS. Go play the lotto numbers because you got 777 on the screen. Grace, I want to ask you, first month of the season is almost done. We're April 30th, literally just one day. We just got this one day, and then when the new month tomorrow. When it comes to the production we've got out of Giancarlo Stanton, if you had to grade it, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, what are you giving him, 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I want to say like 8. And I'm not even trying to be like that positive Pollyanna person. But I know at the beginning of the year, we were all saying, if he gives us 220, if he gives us a batting average of 220 and smacks maybe like 20, 25 home runs this year, we're going to be happy with that. He's going to crush that. At this pace, he'll crush that. He's what is his batting average right now? You said 240? You just put it up on the screen. I already forgot.
Yeah.
See,
no,
240 on the year. Yeah, he's already hit 6 home runs. I mean, he's doing it. He is exceeding all of our expectations. And my man came up as a pinch hitter in extra innings and smacked an RBI double. You know, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he's locked in. I think that with more regular at bats, I know they've been giving him some rest days here and there, whatever. He's just going to keep rolling as long as he can stay healthy. That's what we all need to pray for. I don't care if he gets thrown out at second base. I don't care if he runs slow. That's not what I need from him. I don't need speed from Giancarlo Stanton. He's the DH. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Y'all, some people are just hating on my man. Like, no matter what he does, they're trying to hate.
Yeah, no, listen, if you take what he did right now and average that throughout the entire season, if Giancarlo Stanton averages 5 to 6 home runs each month for the rest of the year, that's 30 plus home runs right there.
See,
that's 30 home runs right there.
Yeah.
And if the same thing, if he averages 16 RBIs for every month of the season, he's at 95, 96 RBIs on the season, close to 100 RBIs. So when it comes down to it, Giancarlo Stanton, like Grace said, with what he's doing, we're not going to beat down on Giancarlo Stanton. Erica said in the chat as well, considering what he did last season, he's giving us a nice surprise. Go ahead, TC. I want to get your take when it comes to Giancarlo Stanton. And talking about Giancarlo Stanton, we had Celso in the chat. Good morning, Celso Porto. Go ahead, TC.
I know. Let's see. For grade, right now, yeah, I think I'm gonna give him a 7. I see a couple of people giving him a 7 in the chat, but the 240 average is great. It's what what we want. He's not going to be a 300 hitter. 240, 250 is where we see him leaving. Ending the year. 6 home runs and the 16 RBIs is nice. And if you average that out, if he ends the season batting 240, 245 with 30 homers and say 95 RBIs, I'm giving him a 10. That's all we want. That's what we want him for. From him. That's the guy. He's not for our speed. And I also like the fact that he's moving down the lineup a little bit. Putting Verdugo 4th, maybe putting Rizzo 5th and Stanton 6th. I think that's going to help him out. A little less pressure. He's not, right in the heart of the lineup. I like that. And I think it's going to help him throughout the rest of the year. So, yeah. I mean, so far so good for Stanton. I'm hats off to him.
I think when it comes to both Stanton and Anthony Rizzo, moving them down in the lineup is imperative, right? Because at this stage of their career, Giancarlo Stanton, he's not a cleanup hitter in a team that's trying to win a championship. Anthony Rizzo is not a cleanup hitter for a team that's trying to win a championship. So when you put Alex Verdugo in there, Alex Verdugo, at this stage in his career, is a better and more reliable hitter than both Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo. So if you have Verdugo in the cleanup spot, who is a double machine, you don't have to worry about someone trying to either strike out or hit a home run. Verdugo, like you said, he's heating up. I know he had his kid. He was, paternity leave, and I'm not sure if he'll be back with the team today. Congratulations to Verdugo and the loving kid that you guys are bringing into this family. But we miss Verdugo in the lineup, and we definitely need to add Verdugo into that starting lineup. I want to bring up something in the chat. 2 things. Jake in the chat. Shout out to Jake. Jake says no one is asking for speed from him, but getting thrown out at second like that is beyond bad. That could have changed the outcome of the game. I think it personally did. But he says, I just want average to slightly below average speed. And I don't think that's asking too much out of Giancarlo Stanton. Like, I appreciate the hustle trying to get to second base. But listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like I said, is Giancarlo Stanton going to be the only major league player that gets thrown out at second base? Absolutely not. There's other players that will get. I know Trevino will get thrown out. Anthony Rizzo will get thrown out trying to get to second base. But Damian Serrano, he brings something up, and I'll throw it over to Grace to lead us in the conversation. But Damian said, explain this to me. And shout out to my guy, Damian Serrano. He says, explain this to me. Why did Boone leave Grisham to hit against a left-handed pitcher with runners on base? Trevi, who is smashing left-handed pitching, was on the bench. When you look at his splits, Trent Grisham's, he doesn't hit well against left-handed pitching to begin with. So keeping him in there to face a tough left-handed pitcher was mind-blowing to me. Grace, I'll throw it over to you to lead us in this conversation that is literally a brain melt. Go ahead.
Boone, you know what? Here's the thing. Boone was doing so good. He was doing well this year. All last year, what were we saying? We were saying, like, Boone is changing the pitching too much, too early. He is he's resting guys when they're hot. He's changing the lineup too much. He's been keeping the lineup pretty consistent. He's been going with the hot hand, which we were all screaming about last year, and he's been letting the pitchers kind of go until they have no more gas. Until this week. Dang it, what happened? And then I mean, we were all screaming about oh my God, what's his name? Tonkin. Oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
The Tonkin move was the beginning of the end of Boone.
Yeah.
Like making us all happy this year, I swear. His calls late in games this week have gone back to last year to me. And I want him to go back to what he was doing earlier this year. I think it all boils down to that Boone is truly a player's manager. And what I mean by that is he puts the player's health, the player's mental state, the player's rest days, the player's whatever the hell above everything else, above wins, above the team, above everything. He has his players back 1,000,000%. So when we get in situations where they put in Tonkin and they don't bring Clay Holmes back out to close that game, and we're all screaming because we love the team. We love the Yankees. We want the win. Boone has his players back. He's like, Holmes has pitched too much. I'm thinking about Holmes' future. He's not thinking about the win. He's not thinking about the team. He's not thinking about all that stuff. So I think that that's just where the fans and Boone just kind of butt heads a lot. But that's also why his players love him so much. So his job is very secure. And you can see that every time Aaron Judge goes, Aaron Judge and Boone are like besties. As long as Aaron Judge has got Boone's back, it's going to be really hard to take him out because I know Hal wants to keep Aaron Judge happy. And he should. Everybody should want to keep Aaron Judge happy to a certain extent, not to the detriment of the wins or the team. However, when it comes to pitching, pinch hitting guys late in games, pulling, these guys, I think if we think about it from the perspective of he literally only cares about his players' well-being, not the win, not the standings in the division, not all that stuff. I mean, he cares about that stuff, I'm sure, but not more than his players. Then you can kind of understand why he does it. That doesn't mean I agree. But that's why he does it, I think. So he was really, I think he was really, really trying to rest Trevino. I think he pinched him already this week, late in the game when he was supposed to have a day off. Yeah. And, they just called up that other catcher and we're like, why? And I think he's just feeling like he's been playing his catch. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But if I try to understand it, I think that's where he's coming from. I'm not defending him. I'm just explaining.
I get it. And it's solid takes. I just want to read off some people in the chat real quick. I throw it over to TC to get his response. Shout out to my guy, Joey Bag of Donuts in the building. Joey Bags, how you doing? Of course, my guy, Anthony Garcia.
Anthony, how you doing, Anthony?
Anthony, salute to you, brother. Old Sarge is in the building. Old Sarge, how you doing? Salute to you. And of course, one of the top moderators out there, Samantha T, who says he's the manager, but the win should be number one, unless a player is hurt or might be hurt. TC, I'll throw it over to you so you can oblige to what Grace just said about Aaron Boone.
Well, being a nice manager doesn't get you wins. And if he's going to just be considerate of their feelings and, oh, you guys played so many games in a row. Oh, sit down, you poor little baseball player. You don't make enough money. No, that doesn't fly with me. I'm sorry. You got to get the win in the game at hand. If you have this locked up, you're up 1 in the 10th, 9th, whatever it is. Clay Holmes, you need to be in the game. You need to have your best going. I don't care if they pitched last game, this whole pitch 2 days in a row. I don't know. If you're in a position to win, you got to go after it, because look what happened the next 2 games. They blew teams out 15 runs. So you can't look forward to these other games. You got to win the game at hand, and not putting Jose Trevino in there. I mean, our bench is weak as it is. It's probably the most pathetic bench in baseball. And not having Jose Trevino come up against a lefty, and he's been hot. It doesn't make any sense. What you have another catcher? What do you do? I don't know. What are you doing, Boone? Like you said, Grace, he's done a great job up until this week, and now he's fumbling the bag basically in the last couple games, and it's just a head scratcher. I mean, having Trevino hit there, that doesn't necessarily mean we would have won the game. Other factors, we had bad luck here and there, but these bad moves add up, and come the end of the season, if we lose the division or a playoff spot by 1 or 2 games, guess who it's on? It's on Aaron Boone. So
I see what you're saying, and I want to sit in the middle of how you and Grace approached it, right?
Fence sitter.
Because when you look at it, Clay Holmes, he does have an history of his back barking and popping up and affecting the way he pitches. Yeah. So has Clay Holmes been overused at the beginning of the season for the first month? Absolutely. I don't think anyone should look at it and say Clay Holmes hasn't been overused. He still hasn't given up a run yet, if I'm not mistaken. Clay Holmes has a 0.00 ERA right now, right?
Right.
So when you look at it, you want to make sure that you have a healthy Clay Holmes for the entire season, not just for the first month of the season. So I understand that aspect of it. When it comes to the Jose Trevino, that right there is more of a head scratcher, but you can still rationalize or reason with it, because if you look at it like this, you pinch hit Jose Trevino for Trent Grisham. Who's replacing Trent Grisham in the defensive lineup if the Yankees tie the game and it goes into extra innings? Who's is Jose Trevino going to play?
Trammell kid, right? Trammell?
No. But what I'm saying is that what are you going to do with Jose Trevino? Trammell's going to come in for him to play center field, right?
Yeah, he replaces Trevino.
Cool. What happens if Austin Wells gets injured in the next 2 innings?
They have the Navarez kid came up.
The Navarez kid he wasn't listed ready to play on the bench. I was just looking at the bench right now. They didn't have him listed.
But he was just brought up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now at the reserves. See, they don't have him listed at the reserves on ESPN.
Well, then I don't know who they have, because I know they brought up Navarez and that Tonkin guy at the same time, I thought. And we were all scratching our head like, why you got
we were all like, why? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. The bench, it just shows Jermaine Jones, Jose Trevino, and that's all it shows. Just those 2 players on the bench.
Well,
we know more than ESPN, Hector.
Okay. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm just saying. So if Navarez was an option, and you do have that Trammell kid as an option to play in the outfield, I'm not defending it, but you can see why. If Navarez wasn't ready to be he could have been with the team and not listed as available.
Furthermore, on Boone, can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
All we've been saying this year about Schmidt has been what? He hasn't been going deep into games, right? He's got a mental block for going deep into games. And then what happened? He didn't want to come out of the game. He wanted to stay. He wanted to gut it out. He almost finished that inning. He wanted to get past that mental block. And all he needed was a little bit of trust from his manager and a little bit of backing. And what happens? Boone takes a couple steps out of the dugout, and Schmidt gives him the look. He said, no, don't give me the hook. I want to get this guy. I want to get the next out. Like, leave me out here. Let me try. And Boone said, oh, okay, I will. He goes back into the dugout, right? Then what happens? Somebody comes up to Boone in his little ear, little statistics, this and that, analytics, whatever the hell. And then what happens? Boone comes back out and takes Schmidt out. So what did we see right there in that little snippet? What did we see? Boone was like, no, I'm going to go with my guy. I'm going to trust my gut. And then what happened? He got overruled by the analytics, the statistics, or whoever it was. And then he didn't go with his gut. He didn't go with his player's gut. He said, no, I'm going to do what's best for you. I know better what's best for you than you do. You're coming out. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's a problem too. Like, everybody in the chat's laughing. Oh my God.
No. That because first of all, that voice was amazing. We need to get that recorded, and I need to have that as like a sound plug so I can just hit it and we can just hear that.
I'm so extra.
No, you're not extra. You are a national treasure, Grace. My guy Chris N in the chat says Verdugo left the series in Mexico because of childbirth, and he left this series because of childbirth. Future Maury episode is on the way for Alex Verdugo. Shout out to my guy Chris N for that. That's hilarious as fuck. Damian Serrano says Boone gave us that excuse about Holmes on Friday, but throws him out last night to get 1 out. And if we tie or take the lead, Holmes comes back out to get the save. Yes, I agree. And there's no defending that. But the one thing that I think we can all agree on, right? Let's all agree on this one little issue. Can we not have Caleb Ferguson out there when the game is on the line or in a crucial moment? I am so tired of seeing Caleb Ferguson. Ferguson, he is the new cardiac Clay Holmes. I cannot stand Caleb Ferguson. And the record still goes. We're undefeated with Trent Grisham in the lineup. So we got to keep this momentum going. Just keep on pounding the L's when Trent Grisham is in the lineup. Go ahead, TC.
You mean we're winnable when Grisham is in the lineup? Not undefeated.
That's what I'm saying. Keep on pounding the L's.
Yeah,
Like,
I just saw
following the
I saw the roster. Carlos Navarez is listed on the roster right now, so I don't know what's
Okay.
going on with what ESPN or whatever, but he, he's available. And I just want to add, Grace, you're you're the bright sun on a cloudy day. Seriously, I mean, this is we're a bunch of dark clouds over here, and you're shining your light. So
definitely is.
That's how we are. We're really frustrated with this team. But what were we talking about? Clay Holmes.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
Caleb Ferguson. And
Yeah,
I just want to say this: I don't want to see Caleb Ferguson anymore.
It's unfortunate with all the injuries we're having. The injuries are a problem again this year, and unfortunately, we got to put a Tonkin in. We got to keep riding Caleb Ferguson.
Who did we put it?
I can't stand it.
Who's that person? What was his name?
Tonkin.
I can't stand it.
Tonkin. Do you know how many teams he was cut by this year?
Yeah, DFA by the Mets, the
Mets, everyone in their mother
Jays,
DFA
Dodgers,
this dude.
I don't know. Yeah, the Mexican League. I don't know.
You know what it is?
I'm done.
You know what it is?
I'm done with you.
Brian Cashman, he walked into the bathroom at Yankee Stadium, and on the wall, somebody scribbled, if you need a middle reliever, call this guy Tonkin at whatever. And Brian Cashman was like, you know what? We need an extra guy. Let's fucking get this guy here.
But they did that last year with bringing up all these DFA guys on the offensive side. Now they're doing it with the pitching. I don't understand. I get it. We have some guys in the minors. Bring them up. Why are you consistently? Someone gets DFA'd and you right away go out and grab them like they're the next Nolan Ryan or something. What are you? I mean, come on. Have faith.
I was screaming. I was screaming for them to pinch hit Jose Trevino for Trent Grisham. I was screaming for them to pinch hit Jose Trevino.
No, I know.
I want to bring up. I want to bring up the next graphic, right? Because it's easy to pile on and beat up on Anthony Volpe. Shout out to Anthony Volpe because he's having a good start to the season. He's come down ever since being put in the leadoff spot, but you can't deny his numbers. He does have better numbers than last year. He has a 272 batting average, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs, a 765 OPS. He had an Apple Taco home run in Milwaukee. But when you look at this graphic, my guy Nick on Twitter, he put it out. Juan Soto single in the third that hit off the right field wall. It's a home run in 9 out of the 30 stadiums in Major League Baseball. Anthony Volpe's fly out in the 5th inning to left field. It is a home run in 12 of the 30 ballparks in Major League Baseball. And Oswaldo Cabrera's fly out in the 9th is a home run in 6 of the 30 stadiums in Major League Baseball. So the Baltimore Orioles, instead of building a team to beat the Yankees, they decided to build a stadium to build the Yankees. Grace, I'll throw it over to you. That. Lead the convo. Go ahead, Grace.
I knew you were going to say that. First of all, I want to say one thing. My man, my boy Gio in the chat said it's better to burn a new guy than to bring up a guy. I don't know. Somewhere in the chat, he was like, yeah. Better to grab DFAs than burn options on young players. And I'm like, yeah, sure, bet. Not when the game's on the line. Maybe the next day when we're up by 12, 13, 14 runs. Go ahead. Put in this guy. Put in this nobody and let him, mop up some innings. Sure, I get that. Not when the game is on the mother in line. Okay, so now going back to the Orioles changing their stadium. Good on y'all. Judge and Torres used to rake in Camden. Oh, yeah. See, they got sick of Gleyber Torres killing them in Camden. Period. So they moved that left field way back, and there were a couple hits right there that would have been like Hector said. But
I'll say this real quick. I was listening to, because my Yes Network app was acting up, so I was listening to like the MLB feed, and I was listening to the Baltimore announcers. And when Oswaldo Cabrera hit that ball to the left field track, and it was at the warning track, the announcers said, "Thank God that we switched up the field, because that would have been a home run." And the other field, they said that on the broadcast yesterday. Go ahead, Grace.
And see, when it's Yankee Stadium, everybody is talking mad hate about the short porch. And when we have a Cy Young winner, or not Cy Young winner, when we have a home run king, and when we have all this stuff, they're like, oh yeah, sure, Yankee Stadium's got that short porch in right field.
Yeah,
and
like
is anybody saying that about the Orioles? Anybody saying that this is collusion for them to move that left field back? Come on. It's just like Judge throwing his hand up. Guess what? Everybody does. Okay, not everybody, but 80% of players do that. 80% of players, when they're sliding into second, throw their arm up.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I mean,
the,
if it had been
the
Jose
universal
Altuve there,
hate.
it would have been over.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. It reminded me of I don't know. This is way back for you guys, but I believe it was 78 when Reggie Jackson threw his hip out. The chat, some of the chat knows when he did that. That changed the World Series. He blocked the ball. He did that on purpose, made it look like it was an accident, but you never know. Judge might have done that on purpose. It's a smart play though. Smart because it looks innocent enough, but he's a smart player. He's got the IQ. So yeah, I know the Orioles changed their park just for the Yankees. I know that's a guarantee. That's the announcers proved it.
So hold on before you keep going, right? So I was just doing the math right now, going down the Baltimore Orioles lineup. Do you know how many left-handed hitters they had in the lineup yesterday, including the switch hitters that they have?
Well, Gunnar Henderson, right, was one.
Gunnar Henderson, who's a lefty. Adley Rutschman's a switch hitter, so he hits from the left-hand side. Ryan O'Hare is a left-handed hitter. He hits from the left-hand side. Anthony Santander is a switch hitter hitting from the left-hand side. Ryan Mountcastle, this is the first right-handed hitter. We're in the fifth. Yeah. We're in their 5 hitter. This is the first right-handed hitter you see in the lineup. Cedric Mullins hit from the left-hand side. Waltz Westberg hits from the right-hand side. Krauser hits from the left-hand side. They have 7 out of their hitters in the lineup were hitting from the left-hand side and Camden Yards yesterday. You think that's a coincidence? We
did have a righty on the mound
back their right hand. No. I know, but what I'm saying is that they built their lineup around their ball.
Oh yeah, right. Of course they
did. Even when we brought in Caleb Ferguson, they still left their left-handed pitcher, or I think it was O'Hare, out there to face Caleb Ferguson. So even when they have a left-handed hitter out there against a left-handed pitcher, they still don't pitch hit. So they built their lineup around their ballpark. It's crazy. You would think the Yankees will build their lineup around their ballpark. Like it works out perfect if you have a bunch of left-handed hitters in Yankee Stadium. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking from the hip. Go ahead, TC.
Well, I mean, this year they've tried, with bringing in Grisham and Soto and Verdugo, but in the years past they didn't. Yeah, it was mind-boggling. Like, why you got all these righties? But credit the Orioles. I mean, they knew that the Yankees were a thorn in their side in their home ballpark, and so they, let's redesign the whole park. I mean, there's teams that do it. Like, I mean, Boston plays, for their field. They got the big wall, and so. I mean, these teams, they got to find a way to do it. Houston, had the trash cans, and that's what they did.
I'm done with you. I'm done.
Sorry, but
check, please.
Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. Grace. Actually, when you were saying that there were 7, I'm like, dang, Schmidt did so well. And
he did so well.
It, man. And so you by you telling me all this stuff, I'm like, they were trying to steal that game last night. Because they know they have what's his name? The Brewer guy who is playing for the Orioles now. B something with a B. Come on, what's his name?
You're talking about Corbin Burns?
Burns, thank you.
Corbin,
They know they got Corbin Burns coming, okay? And in the series. They were trying to steal that game yesterday, and Schmidt did the best that he could. All he needed was for us, like I said, barring the error, the run scored on the error, all they needed from us was 2 runs, and we couldn't do it. So that sucks, but I still think we're going to take the series. And I think we're going to win, even the Corbin Burns night. What, am I crazy? Am I going crazy? I think we're going to do it, you guys. We got to believe.
So. Listen, I'm sipping the cup of positivity that Grace is sipping right now, because I definitely hope that they do.
Is she going to have a spinoff of a Jigga show? Or
It's a positivity 2.0 with Grace Monroe. That's what it's going to be.
It's the afternoon drive home.
Afternoon positivity.
We need Verdugo back.
Yeah, we definitely need Verdugo back, just like we need this guy to start heating up. I know in his last 7 games, if you look at the Tryon, the graphic that I stole from the Yes Network, the Chiron on the bottom of the screen has Aaron Judge in the past 7 games, a 333 batting average, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a 1.158 OPS.
That's more like
in the last 7 games. We need that because a 212 batting average for the season, we don't need that. Aaron Judge, this is what he said last night. It wasn't our night tonight, but we got to just show up tomorrow and do our thing. When it comes to the captain, I know it seems like he's turning the corner, but he left some runners on the ponds yesterday. So I have a hard time saying pounds and pond.
All right.
He left runners on the bases yesterday. When it comes to Aaron Judge, I know a lot of Yankee fans have been saying it's still early in the season. It's still early. He's going to turn it around. We got one more day of April. Today is the last day of April. Is Aaron Judge going to finally turn things around? Grace, I'll throw it over to you, and then throw it over to TC Stills. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Sierra in the building. Sierra, how you doing? My guy, Sunil is in the building. Sunil, how you doing, fly guy? Erica says he needed to lift the ball with Volpe on third. That was inexcusable. Talking about Judge. Yeah. Go ahead, Grace.
Man, Erica's my girl. That's why everything she says, I'm like, yes. Anyway, Judge, I think he's coming around. I'm seeing the shift. I don't think he's quite there yet. I know some people are ready to declare that he is back. I think he's close. There was a couple, or there was at least one at bat yesterday that I was watching where he was chasing balls outside. And I'm like, he's guessing. I can tell he's guessing. I've been watching him too many times, and that concerned me a little bit. But then when he locked down for the rest of the at bat, so it was like he had half of the at bat guessing, and then the second half of the at bat he was a lot more in control, and you could tell he was hunting. So I feel like he's really close, really, really close. I'd like to see him hitting more doubles and singles and not just the long ball, because we already know he's got that power. And if you guess right, even Josh Donaldson can hit a home run. So, I'd like to see him start to get more rolling with the extra base hits, not just the home runs. But I think he's really close. So I'm feeling good about it. I swear, y'all, I'm not just positive all the time.
No, listen, Grace, real. I need that because I'm going through it while these Yankees at nighttime, right? Like,
need it.
I honestly, I'll throw it over to TC. I just want to say this one thing. I'm working on a shirt design for us because the Yankees, I'm going to start calling them the LOB gang, right? You guys don't know what LOB is?
Left on base.
Left on base game. That's the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees for the month of April have been the left on base game. So I'm working on a t-shirt design. I'll get that out. But I'm letting you guys know right now, if you see anybody out there on the interwebs with the left on base game t-shirt, just know they got it from this guy right here. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah. Also, one that says bases loaded and a picture of Kryptonite. Just a big
Kryptonite. Y'all, listen, I want you to know I'm not buying that shirt. I will not buy that shirt. That is bad juju.
I'm just gonna send it to you. I'm just gonna send it to your husband. He's just gonna wear it around the house.
Yeah, LOB gang.
No.
I'm aware. Hold up, represent.
Go ahead, TC.
Yeah. So for Judge, I'm with you, Grace. I think he's a little bit up, a little bit short. He's almost there. Very promising in Milwaukee. I mean, of course, again, we're way ahead, and he's just having his at bats. What we need from Judge is when the game's on the line, he needs to come through, and he needs to either shorten his swing up or a different approach, because he has got to come through with runners on base, and a lot of times he's not, and it's tough because he's right there behind Soto. Soto's doing his job. Judge needs to participate and start coming through with some clutch hits. but he's right there. He does have some at bats where he looks like he's lost. He's swinging at way outside, and
he's
and
guessing.
It's mental. It's a mental game. Every at bat, it gets with you. It messes with you. So different pitchers have different styles. So it's such a hard game. Baseball is so hard to do. It's tough sometimes, and we get frustrated as fans, like, oh, you should be able to, you're a major league player. It's not that easy.
Hold on.
What's going on here?
There's a conversation going on in the chat, and I'm dying laughing. Shout out to Sierra, shout out to Chris, and shout out to Li, because they're having an amazing back and forth. But Li Yankee King with the $4 super chat, helping us keep the lights on. Li Yankee King says this here. I'm giving this to have Yankee fans stop with the trash cans. We lost in 2017 because we couldn't hit in Houston. That's why we lost, not the trash cans. Li Yankee King, you need a hug. That's what you need. You need a digital hug. I know they have like VR right now. I can't wait for the day that I buy Li Yankee King a virtual reality headset. So when these moments happen, I can put the headset on and give him a VR headset hug. You feel me? I know he's in Ohio. I'm in New York. Li, you need a hug, my guy. Just know I love you. But
don't they have like Uber hugs? You could send a guy to his house and
I wish.
On the door,
I wish there were Uber hugs. But this is one thing that I want to mention. I was listening to WFAN last night. Shout out to my guy Keith McPherson. Always a great listening to him late night. I always do that while I'm prepping for the show. But he had Louis from Astoria call in. And Louis, funny guy, diehard Knicks fan, diehard Yankee fan. He said that he was at the barbershop. Well, he has a video at the barbershop that Juan Soto gets his haircut. And apparently Juan Soto's joking around with the barber. This is how you know Juan Soto, he knows what's going on. Juan Soto, he keeps his ears to the street when it comes to the Twitter, when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to the fan bases, Mets and Yankees. This is what Juan Soto said to the barber jokingly. He said jokingly in Spanish. I can't recreate it because I'm not Dominican. I don't know the slang. But he said in Spanish to the guy, he was like, listen, basically, if you fuck my haircut up, I'm going to Queens. He said, he's like, don't mess my haircut up, because if you fuck my haircut up, I'm signing with the Mets this offseason.
Okay. That is great.
But it's a joke. Like Juan Soto, he's buying into it. Like he's leaning into it. Like he knows what is going on. Joking around with those guys over there. I think it's MVP Barbershop in the Bronx. Shout out to those guys. They've been blowing up this entire offseason. They were the ones that like broke the news from Juan Soto's father before it was announced by like all the blue check marks on Twitter and stuff like that. So shout out. No, Louis from Astoria is the new Omar from Brooklyn. Omar from Brooklyn, if you know, you know. He is hilarious. But I want to go through the Yankees lineup. TC, I'll throw it over to you. Yeah. You could just read off the Yankees lineup real quick, and then we'll get into the pitching side of things. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Anthony Volpe led off. He was 0 for 4. He had a walk, possible home runs in certain parks there, but came up short. Juan Soto 1 for 4. The strikeout, still batting .316. Aaron Judge turning it around, 1 for 4. He's up to 212. All right, that's a good sign. He had a strikeout. Anthony Rizzo was 0 for 4 in the cleanup spot with a strikeout. He's at 267. Our Slim G 1 for 3 with that tough play at second there, getting thrown out, but he had a walk. He's still batting .240. Gotta love it. Austin Wells unlucky. He should have had 2 hits. He was 1 for 4. Still batting a low 167. Can't have that. Gleyber Torres, he might be turning the page right now. He was 2 for 4. He's up to 228, which is a good sign. Oswaldo Cabrera is 0 for 4, 258. And our boy unlucky Trent Grisham, put him in the lineup, and we will win a game. 1 for 3, 1 walk, and he's batting a cool 100.
I just got to know, right? And I'm going to leave this lineup here right now because I got a question to ask. When it comes to Gleyber Torres in that 7th hole, if Gleyber Torres starts to turn it around, if he starts to heat up, are you flip-flopping Gleyber Torres and Anthony Volpe?
For me, no. No way. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping Gleyber where he's at. Let him stay there. Let him cook. And you leave Anthony Volpe in that leadoff spot. You may have
did that last year. We're flipping around people. We can't do that anymore.
Leave him. You got to leave him. Now you can't move him. You have to leave him. You can't move him anymore. You made the mistake by putting him in the leadoff spot, not even 1 month through the season. You waited the first 2 weeks. You saw he was doing good, and you moved him there because Gleyber Torres was struggling. Do not move him. If you move him, you're going to mess with his confidence. You're going to break him down. Go ahead, Grace. I'll throw it over to you. When it comes to the Yankees lineup,
negative.
Go ahead, Grace.
Negative ghostwriter. Go ahead.
No.
I just want to say that's a negative ghostwriter.
So you're not flipping Torres and Volpe if Torres starts heating up?
No.
Okay.
Grace wants Stanton lead off.
To me, Torres is a run producer. He needs to be in the bottom half of the lineup. That's where I want him. Anthony Volpe needs to focus on getting on base. That's what I want him to do. I want him to get on base. I want him to steal bases, and I want him to be there for Soto and Judge. And I wanted to bring this up to you guys too. I know this is not last night, but when Verdugo was in cleanup, you guys, how did we feel about having a contact hitter batting cleanup, not a power hitter? Necessarily. I know he hits home runs every once in a while. Okay. But he's a contact hitter. How do we feel about that change in philosophy?
Yeah,
I do.
No, I loved it. For me, if Gleyber Torres heats up and he starts getting on fire, I'm not moving him to the leadoff spot. Where I would move Gleyber is to back up Verdugo in the lineup. I'll move him to the 5 spot, because if you have a lineup with Volpe leading it off as a right-handed hitter, Juan Soto as a lefty, Judge as a righty, Verdugo as a lefty, Torres as a righty, then you come back to Rizzo as a lefty, Giancarlo Stanton as a righty, Austin Wells as a left-handed hitter, and then Oswaldo Cabrera as your switch hitting guy, mostly a lefty, at the bottom of the lineup as your 9-hole hitter. You have the perfect right, left, right, left, right, left matchup for 1 through 9. That's the perfect 1 through 9 right there for the New York Yankees. But the key thing is going to be if Gleyber Torres turns it on and if he gets hot. There's 2 things that I think are qualifying conditions for the New York Yankees to be successful this season, right? If we want to be in October, if we want to have a long journey into October, into the World Series, there's going to be 2 factors that we need. One, we need Aaron Judge to turn it on. Aaron Judge hitting 220 for a whole season, that's not sustaining success. We can't win with that, right? And we need Gleyber Torres to turn it on as well. To me, those are the 2 qualifying conditions for the New York Yankees to make a deep run in the postseason. We know what Juan Soto is going to do. Juan Soto is going to be Juan Soto. Yes, we need this starting staff to still be the starting staff and be consistent. I'm not sure if what we see right now with the 1 through 5, if it's going to be the same when Garrett Cole comes back. I'm not sure if Marcus Stroman is going to still be out there. Carlos Rodon, maybe one of them go on the IL. We don't know. But the 2 qualifying conditions that I see that this team needs for us to make a deep run in the postseason is Aaron Judge being Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres turning it on and being that kid that we've been looking for Gleyber Torres to be.
And don't forget, we've got Garrett Cole coming back. We've got Jason Dominguez coming back. We got Spencer Jones on the edge. We have so much coming, y'all. This is just the beginning. Our team can only go. Listen, I sound like a motivational speaker, y'all.
No, listen. And
That's
because
true.
of that, I had to put the morning cup of Joe. Shout out to my guy Celso Porto. He couldn't be here this morning because he's dealing with something very personal. So I wished him the best. Shout out to my guy Celso. So the morning cup of Joe will be back when Celso is back on the air. For everybody who is missing the donut, I don't have the donut graphic. Sorry, Sierra. I was trying to look for the donut graphic. I can't do that. But hold on. There's more chats that I want to bring up real quick. The save situation said, I like the lineup that produced 15 runs apiece. Unfortunately, the key cog isn't here right now, and that's Verdugo. When it comes to Verdugo, we've been talking about him being that cleanup hitter. TC, I'll throw it over to you. Do you think that's where he needs to sit in this lineup?
Well, it sure looks like it when in Milwaukee. He looked excuse me. He looked very comfortable there. And I agree with Grace. A contact hitter right in that spot right behind Judge. That's perfect for him. And we see it. We see the results. I mean, it's just we need to balance out the lineup. The lineup you mentioned with Rizzo, Stanton, Wells down the line, that probably is the best lineup, but to me, that's like the 3 slow guys in a row, and it's to me, red flags, at the bottom of the lineup. If we get these guys on base, and say Cabrera gets a hit, no one's scoring, but what are you going to do?
It's really two slow guys, because Austin Wells, he's pretty fast.
Yeah, he's got some wheels.
You're
right.
He can steal some bases. Yeah, so
you're
it's
right,
really just two slow guys back to back.
Yeah,
and those two slow guys would still be back to back if they were 4 and 5 in the lineup.
You're right. But that's just what we have, and unfortunately our bench is weak. But we get some guys back. Maybe Birdie comes back, DJ, healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It'll look a little different. Garrett Cole comes back. I say Lewis Hill moves to the bullpen, helps out that bullpen. That would save a lot of these guys, and having to, get all these DFA pitchers back. It's just ridiculous. But I'd like to see Hill, what he would look. I mean, I know he's a starter, but I'd like to see him at the end of the ball games to help out Clay Holmes. That would be such a boost to this staff. We wouldn't have to see Caleb Ferguson, your favorite guy, every game.
Jesus Christ, I can't stand
that, we just need some guys to get healthy and come back, because it seems like so many guys are just going down, and it just keeps just holding us over the hump. Like we're trying to get to the hump and beat these good teams, and we just can't get there because of we have a slow guy in, or we have a DFA pitcher pitching in extra innings. It's just these simple little things. I mean, maybe we've run into a lot of bad luck, but hopefully we get through April. We're into May, new month. I think we're going to get some more positivity, and we'll get Celso maybe go on the field and wave the positivity flag and help these guys out. Grace will fly in on a little jet or something. I don't know. Sprinkle some pixie dust on.
Like Wonder Woman. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Dude, Rizzo has been killing me with these double plays, man. So I was happy when they put him down a little bit in the lineup. They brought Verdugo up, and I think Soto has been getting on base so much. And what's been happening? He's been stranded. So many times. So I think putting Verdugo there in cleanup can kind of, I think that maybe the thought behind it was, we're not going to strand Soto as many times. If Verdugo is coming up and hitting a double or hitting, whatever, then Soto can come home, and then we're starting off the game at least one run, right?
Yeah. The New York Yankees with the double plays.
They lead the league, right?
Oh, God.
The Baltimore Orioles, they're number 1 in baseball with the least double plays hit into, with 0.29 double plays per game. Yeah. The New York Yankees, we are last in Major League Baseball, tied with the Miami Marlins. The New York Yankees average 1.10 double play per every game so far this season. Tied.
That seems low.
Tied. I think
we average about 3 double plays a game.
Right? Feels like it.
That's crazy to even say. I was like, when Grace was talking, I was like, let me just Google it just to see. And when I was Googling and typing it in, I'm like, we can't beat 30th. We can't beat last. No, we're literally last in Major League Baseball when it comes to double plays that we hit in. I got some good news, though. You want to hear some good news? This is some good news. John Birdie, he had his rehab assignment in Somerset over the past couple of days. This is what he said. I felt pretty good overall. Body felt pretty good. I'm just trying to get that rhythm and timing back, obviously, from not playing for a few weeks. So that is going to be building on that. So we may get John Birdie back. I don't know.
Yeah, that helps.
Some speed.
That's good.
It helps. Probably gives Cabrera and Torres some days off, but Torres is starting to turn things on. I don't know. Ultimately, I'm sipping on Grace's positivity cup of Joe this morning, right? I want the New York Yankees to win this series against the Baltimore Orioles, but when it comes down to it, I think best case scenario is we split. To me, that's the best case scenario. We split this series 2-2. We better win today. They got Dean Kramer pitching on the mound today for the Yankees. And I know last year when he was pitching against the Yankees, we was making fun of him because his name was Dean Kramer. I know I'm guilty of that. TC, me and you, we was making fun of his fucking name and stuff, and he shut out the Yankees last year. So hopefully Dean Kramer doesn't shut out the Yankees this year when we see him.
Let's hope not. Let's.
How long is Verdugo going to be gone?
got to
Because
jump
I
on
believe
him
in that
early.
daddy magic.
The weekend, right? Through the week or?
I don't know, man.
Paternity leave? I don't know. Is it a week? 2 weeks?
It's a couple days. No,
yeah,
it's not
it's normally a couple of days.
Yeah,
no, it's not a week.
But
like
y'all, you know, I believe in that daddy magic. That's why I call Cole Daddy Cole, because ever since he had his baby, he got that daddy magic. Okay, so I believe in that. So Daddy Verdugo needs to come back. Yeah. Daddy Dugo needs to come back.
The only father on the New York Yankees that hasn't got that daddy power was Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres, he doesn't have that daddy diaper changing powers that all these other players have on our team. We got somebody backstage. I'm going to bring up my guy, Chris N. We're just rocking out to 12:15 today just because I got to get out and do some running around. Chris, let me get a thumbs up, my brother. Let me know you ready to rock out. Let me just bring him up right here. Hold on one second. Bingo, bango. Chris, how you doing? Salute to you, my guy.
I'm good. I'm good, brothers. I'm good. Got to do Yankees pod today. We had a later one yesterday, so I'm going to go back to 12 today. But just wanted to come in and say another great start by our starting pitching rotation, man. Like, it's like we don't give up more than 4. I don't think we've allowed, by starting pitching, I don't think we've allowed more than 4 one time this year. And Schmidt goes out against that. It might have been 1. I think Rodon gave up 5 one time.
Maybe,
but what are we, like 30 games in now? One time we allowed more than 4. We're ruining these guys' starts, against a very powerful and strong Baltimore lineup. Again, from a guy who we weren't sure about before the season, right? There was a lot of question marks about Clark Schmidt. The second half last year, the last month, it was good, but we wasn't sure, what he was going to be. And again, another great start, that kind of got ruined by no hitting, on a team that should be hitting the ball by now. It was mentioned in the chat, the runners in scoring positions, the double plays, like the little things are killing us right now. And it seems like it's been repetitive for the last couple of years. So hopefully we get some of that stuff cleaned up, man. I mean, this was the early test of the season. I know people said it was Houston, that first series, but obviously we see Houston is what Houston is. So, Baltimore is this big test for us, and, we got to show up. And I even said it, listen, if we lose the series, I'm fine with it. But if we have to lose the series in an effort, 8-7, 8-6, stuff like that, where we see positivity, right? Like where you see people hitting the ball, maybe some mistakes here and there. But if we're getting, 6 hits and scoring no runs, we got a problem. Like we got a problem because this is the team at the end of the year, as we see the season right now, that we're going to, be going up against. It's in our division, and it's guys that are going to give us some issues. So, a little upset about last night, but on to today, and let's hope we string some runs today, and we'll be the ones on the other side of the victory.
Yeah, copy. Chris, my guy, salute to you, brother. This is Josh Hart's evil twin, who is a diehard Yankee fan. Shout out to my guy, Chris.
I was gonna end it there, baby. Go Knicks. Knicks in 5 tonight, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. That's my guy, Chris.
It's over tonight. Yep.
Shout out to my guy, Chris. Also, make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter. He does Yankees Pod. He does it from 12 to 1 with our friend Jimmy Randanzo. And then he comes back and he does his own from 1 to 2 as well. Always great conversation. I met a lot of the people that I know now from Twitter Spaces, like Erica, Sierra. I know Bojo was in the chat. Swifty was in the chat. Joey Bag of Donuts. Dope people that you can meet online. NFE, I see you backstage. NFE, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. I got my guy NFE. And we're going to do it one at a time. I'm going to bring up NFE. Then I got Erica next. Then I got Damien. Then I got Bobby. And then I got L.I. Yankee Cam to bring up. I bring you guys up as you guys showed up in the queue that's right underneath me. NFE, my brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can I make one quick announcement?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Matt, so shout out to Nithin Ramachandra for setting this up. I'm going to be interviewing former baseball player Kevin Mensch on Thursday.
Okay.
So 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully you guys could all tune in. I just wanted to mention that really quick. So I'm excited.
Thursday?
Thursday. Yep, Thursday.
Copy.
So Kevin Mensch.
Nice.
So shout out to Nathan for
shout out to my guy Nathan.
Nice.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Nathan.
Nathan.
Yeah, definitely. And also too, just so everybody know, this Saturday, if you guys, it's Saturday is gonna be busy for me. This is my game. This is what I'm doing Saturday. Saturday, I'm going early to the Yankee game so I could get me my Garrett Cole Jedi bobblehead. I'm not going to the Yankee game. I'm paying for a ticket just to get the bobblehead because I got to jump on a train and go to Jersey because Joe Girardi is going to be in Woodbridge, New Jersey this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. If you guys in the tri-state area, if you guys want to win a signed Joe Girardi autograph item, I'll figure it out. I'll get him to sign something. We'll give it away next week on the show. But if you guys are in the tri-state area and you want to meet Joe Girardi this Saturday at Woodbridge Bar and Grill, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 2 to 4 p.m., you can hit me up. Go ahead, NFE.
No, all good. Yeah, you should probably set up a tent there. Just spend the night over there.
Yeah.
Outside the stadium there, Hector. But no, I wanted to talk about yesterday's game. That was a big letdown. The bats were just not, doing their job. Like the runners were in scoring position. They were getting on base, but they just weren't coming through. They weren't seizing the moment. It's, you never want to see that. This is their 5th shutout. I hate when this team gets shut out. It's frustrating, especially when, you lose a game 2-0. You never want to see that. But, kudos to Clark Schmidt, though. He's been showing up this season. I had all the confidence in Clark Schmidt. He's got the 2nd best ERA on this team right now. So I don't know about you guys. I wasn't expecting that, but he's been doing a really good job. But no, the Yankees bats absolutely have to show up. And tonight they got to win because tomorrow is going to be a tough one. They're going to go up against Corbin Burns. So they should be able to shut out this pitcher that's pitching today, Kramer. But we'll see what happens, right? We don't know what bats are going to show up.
Yeah. TC Grace, anything before we bring up the next person?
Just congrats, NFE on the interview. That's awesome. The show's doing good, and just keep up the great work and
appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Guys in the chat, make sure you guys go and support my friend, our guy, Mr. NFE from the Strike Zone. Like he said, Kevin Mensch is going to be on with him next week. I mean, this week. Wait, this week or next week?
Thursday.
It's Thursday. All right, this Thursday. Make sure you guys tune in. Yeah, make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah,
10 a.m. on the Strike Zone.
Eastern
Make
time.
sure you guys support
Eastern
my guy,
time.
NFE. NFE, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, guys and gals. See y'all later.
My guy. So I bring up my friend Erica. Erica, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. She got the thumbs up. Dummy wummies with the Jets. Erica, how you feeling? How are you feeling with the Jets and what they did with the draft? How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Listen, I'm fine with it. I like that they got the quarterback from Florida State. He has a pretty high ceiling coming off that broken leg situation. Be behind Aaron Rodgers. It's cool. I'm not a big draft person. Like, I don't follow the guys in the college, but I did watch a lot of the Florida State games because my cousin's a huge fan. So yeah, I mean, listen, just get me into the playoffs.
No, listen. I appreciate folks like you and Celso. Even though I'm a Giants fan, you guys are diehard Jets fans. I appreciate our friendship and the way we're able to have these conversations. But Erica, you've been listening to the show. You've been in the chat going back and forth with LI Yankee King. What's your thoughts on the conversation?
I wasn't part of that. I wasn't going to entertain that. We're allowed to be as pissed off for as long as we want about the Astros stealing that from the Yankees because we would have went on and beat the Dodgers. That team just had aura, as the kids say. So whatever, I'm not entertaining that. What I will entertain, unfortunately, is I was at the game yesterday. I'm so mad that I traveled 175 miles to go watch them put up 0 runs for me once again this season, as they did opening day when I went and traveled all alone to Yankee Stadium, and they put 0 runs up for me and Marcus Stroman. So pissed me off a little bit. I just want to clarify that Stanton situation was not as embarrassing as people make it out to seem. I was listening to the Fan this morning. Everyone wants to talk about it. It was a very hard hit to read. If he takes one extra step towards second base and that guy catches it, he gets doubled up, and we're still having this conversation. Okay, so it is what it is. Yes, can he be faster?
Exactly,
sure,
Erica. Tell him.
We understand what Stanton is. Like, he's a slow guy, and hopefully he needs a home run in order to be able to round the bases with us, not having our chest pounding out of or our heart pounding out of our chest. So, let's see I know I'm jumping on, but I know like late in
keep going. And like I said earlier, Giancarlo Stanton is not the only Yankee player that's getting thrown out in second base in that situation. Rizzo's getting thrown out in that situation. Trevino's getting thrown out in that situation. Stanton is not the only Yankee player that's getting thrown out trying to make it to second, and that type of play. That is a bang play. Like you said, it's 50-50 bang. It was hit on the line right to Santander. It was the perfect ball for him to pick up and throw right to second base. That play happens 1 in a million.
Volpe would make it. Like, there are guys that would have obviously beat that out, but it was not as embarrassing or ridiculous as people are making out to seem. What is ridiculous is that it was the Yankees' 5th shutout. I know that we're upset about it, but guess what? I think that this is just the team. This is the offense. Like, we kind of have to deal with it. But as long as they can continue to surround 2-3 wins in between these stinkers, then it is what it is. But I think we have to understand that this is what's going to happen. And until Judge is consistent enough, because he is the key factor in this lineup being successful. The rest of the lineup could be trash. As long as Soto and Judge are on, I think that the Yankees could scrape a lot of more wins, and turn these losses into wins. So I like that Wells is hitting his hits. Like, he was hitting loud. He had loud hits before, but now they're finding spots in the field. I like that. Torres obviously starting to hit, but I still hate seeing his first pitch swings. They're never successful, so it's just frustrating to see that. But listen, at the end of the day, they're 19-11. What is it? 19-11?
Yeah, right. 19-11.
Like, it's fine. I have said that these games that are winnable, they should win them because they're going to be a big factor at the end of the season. But yeah, it's baseball. I've decided that I'm going to take the bad with the good, the ebbs and the flows, because there's still May, June, July, August. There's still 5 months of this, so we're gonna get on these shows every 2 days, and we're gonna complain about the same crap. And 1 week it's gonna be great, like Torres is gonna be the best guy ever. 1 week it's gonna suck, and this is what it is. This is baseball. It's long, it's grueling, and I love every part of it.
It's a process. Like NFE just brought up here in the chat. 19-11 right now. We were 15-14 last year around this time. So this team is definitely better than last year. Is there little things that we're nitpicking and we wish that this team was better at? Absolutely. Do I wish we had a different left-handed reliever whose name wasn't fucking Caleb Ferguson? Absolutely. I can't stand looking. Caleb Ferguson reminds me of a guy that works in the IT department that don't know what the fuck he's doing. That's what Caleb Ferguson reminds me of. You know what you're doing, Erica, when it comes to your job. Caleb Ferguson, he don't know what he's doing when it comes to his job. But throw it over again, because there was another topic that I wanted to bring up to get your take on, Erica. You probably mentioned it or talked about it in the chat. But the Baltimore Orioles, their new stadium, the way they figured out to build their stadium to combat and beat the Yankees, do you look into that when it comes to the dimensions? Is that a big thing for you, what Baltimore did with their ballpark? What's your thoughts on that, Erica?
Yeah, it's annoying. Yesterday I was standing up. That Cabrera that would have been a home run for sure. Like, just off the bat, everyone thought it was a home run. Even the Orioles fans, who were, by the way, spicy as all hell at the game, talking about Yankees suck chants and everything. But it's embarrassing when the Yankee fans are louder than the Orioles fans. But they were super spicy. I don't like it. I hope that the Yankees take the next 3 just to shut them up. But even they were like nervous. They saw that hit and they were like, "Oh shit, here we go! Like, our bullpen's blowing it again." I hate that they did that. They clearly did that because of the Yankees. But I think that they're going to have to move those. I think they're going to have to move the wall back in, because, like you mentioned, they have a lot of lefty hitters. And I'm sorry, but that is way too far for lefties to go opposite field with. They're going to have no success opposite field. And, pitchers are going to pitch to the pole. Like, I don't know. I feel like they'll end up pulling them back in. Maybe not as much, but slightly, because that is an eyesore in that stadium. That stadium is gorgeous. And it sucks. Also, they have I thought it was cute. They put a AL East Division Championship stamp on their wall in left field just to add insult to injury, because who celebrates that? Come on.
Yeah. No, honestly, that wall in left field, like, if you were to split that stadium in half down the middle, like Erica says, when you look to the right side of the ballpark, it's beautiful. That whole right field is beautiful. But when you look to that left field of the ballpark, like Erica said, it's an eyesore. It reminds me, it's like when you're playing MLB The Show and you're playing in the stadiums from the 1930s and the 1915s. That's what Camden Yards, that side of Camden Yards reminds me of, because the wall is so big and it's so wide and gappy that it just reminds me of a very old, vintage, pre-World War I MLB ballpark. That's how I look at it. But Erica, appreciate you like always. Are you going to any of the games for this road trip? I mean, this homestand coming up?
No. I mean, I'm sure I'll try. Like if I have a day open.
Well, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you just got a phone call or something. No. Well, Erica, we'll catch you next time. Appreciate you. But Erica, if you are going to any of the games, just let me know. Hit me up. Always appreciate Erica. Damian Serrano, we got some more people. I'm going to bring up everybody before we wrap things up.
Go ahead, Grace.
Damian,
what do you need, Grace?
Let me say one thing.
Sunil, and then Caputos. Go ahead, Grace.
Let me say one thing. Yankees suck chance? That's cute. Call me when you win a postseason game. The Baltimore Orioles have not won a postseason game in 10 years. I just looked it up to confirm. The last time they won a postseason game was the year of our Lord 2014. So the division champion, that's cute. Call me when you win a game in the postseason. That's all I want to say.
2014.
You go, Grace.
2014, I was literally graduating EMT school.
You see what
I
I'm
had
saying?
a full head of hair. Yeah, it was 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. I'm bringing my guy, Damian Serrano. Damian, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. The fly guy, Damian Serrano.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, I'm going to bring up Damian. Then I got Sunil, Caputo, and then I got Damian, Bobby, Sunil, and then Caputo to wrap things up. Go ahead, Damian. Then I got to bring up Bobby right after you. Go ahead, bro.
Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, Hector, TC, Miss Grace, how y'all doing?
My brother.
Listen, I just want to vent real quick. Mr. Boone, listen, the manager's job is to put this team in the best position to win. Friday, we got the Clay Holmes excuse, and mind you, I didn't necessarily have an issue with it. I had an issue with who he brought in, right? Check. Sunday, we had a blowout. What's he do? He throws the bullpen out there for useless bullpen arms for no reason. You're throwing bullets. You worry about, saving guys, but you throw them out on Sunday. Yesterday, we got Trent Grisham up against a lefty. You throw him out. And meanwhile, you got the hottest hitter on the team against lefties, hitting over 400, sitting on the bench in Trevi. Why? I don't know. Then you throw out Clay Holmes in the eighth. Throw get one out. The Yankees tie or they take the lead. What happens there? Clay Holmes is coming out again to close that game. So right now, the Yankees are winning spite of Boone's nonsense. He's making mistakes that he's made 7-8 years now. He's not learning from them. If he's not learning from them, he's not going to learn from them ever. And he's not doing what a manager's supposed to do. Put your team in the best position to win. Is Trevi going to come up with that hit last night? Probably, maybe not. But he put them in the best position to win. Right. Friday, Tompkins, he doesn't put you in the best position to win. So that's what's got me pissed off right now about the team, is that Boone is not putting his team, his players in the best position to win. Other than that, 1911, obviously we got to love it. But, man, again, at this point, you got to win despite of some of Boone's nonsense. And it's aggravating. We've been dealing with it for years. It's only a mistake if you learn from it. He's not learning from it. So at that point, it's just stupidity. Yeah. So, I had to let that out today, guys. I
just felt like Damian just screamed at me. Like he was just like a father and just screamed at me. He said, it's what was that?
It's only a mistake.
It's not a mistake if you don't learn from it, you dumb fuck. That's what it felt like when he was talking to me just now.
Man, I'm telling you. I tell my daughter the same thing. It's only a mistake if you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Other than that stupidity.
But I think all of us Yankee fans, we share the same frustrations. When it comes to Clay Holmes, like you said on Friday, I'm there for that excuse because I understand. Yes, Clay Holmes has been overused in the first month of the season. When you have 2 games back to back that your bullpen is rested, well, your main pieces in your bullpen are rested. Going up against Baltimore, you want to make sure Clay Holmes is rested and ready to go. So would I have used Clay Holmes the same way last night that Boone would have done? Yeah, it's my division rival. I know we're losing, but I know we're on the road. But I got to make sure when we go into the top of the ninth, it's just a one. They have a 1-run lead, not a 2-run or a 3-run lead. So I would have done the same thing with Clay Holmes if I was in Boone's position, right? It's just the Trevino thing is head scratching. The Navarez, I know you said Navarez is. You looked it up. I looked it up. He was brought up. I'm not sure if he was active. If he was active, ready to go, then you should have pinch hit Trevino, and you could have had Navarez as your backup catcher if Austin Wells gets injured in the next couple of innings. There's just no excuse. But Damien, appreciate you, my guy, the fly guy, Damien Serrano. I got Bobby I'm going to bring up right now, but Damien, appreciate you, brother. Like always, my guy. You be safe. Bobby, let me get a thumbs up. I'm going to bring up Bobby, Sunil, and then Caputo to close things out. Bobby, Bobby, talk to the people, Bobby.
Hi, Grace. Nice to talk to you in the first time.
Nice to meet you.
Wow. Where are you from, New York?
Isn't she a ray of sunshine?
Yes, she is. Where are you from, New York?
I'm a Texas girl, but don't get it twisted. I'm a diehard New York Yankees fan.
I hope you're not a Dallas Cowgirl fan.
Well, we're going to talk about baseball.
Something in my throat. I can't answer that question.
We're going to talk about baseball, Bobby. Go ahead, Bobby.
I will. Yankees are going to win. They're doing good this year. 19-11, like better than last year. Definitely. Then the Knicks are going to win tonight.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And
next,
guess
Bobby.
who lost last night, Hector? The Lakers are out. Lakers are out of the players. Yeah. And
Bobby,
it was nice to see you. You're a good guy too. I didn't forget about you.
TC, yep, TC. TC's definitely a good guy.
And
Bobby, brother, let's get predictions for tonight's game.
Yeah,
Yankees
what do you got,
versus
Bobby?
Baltimore. Dean Kramer. How many runs are we scoring on Dean Kramer tonight? What's your
I
thoughts
hope about
before we bring up
6.
Sunil?
I hope about 6.
About 6 runs against Dean Kramer?
Yeah, I hope so. Last year he shut us out, like they said. Erica said, or TC Steele said, one of the two.
Yeah. No, I think it was Erica that brought that up.
Erica's a smart girl, isn't she? She knows the baseball.
Yeah, no, Erica, that's my friend. She's a real smart baseball
Very
mind.
smart.
But Bobby,
and you are too, Grace.
Bobby, appreciate you. Love you, Bobby. That's Bobby Lightning right there. Gotta love Bobby Lightning. I'm gonna bring up my next guy, Sunil. Sunil, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. Sunil, make it fast, make it sweet, and keep it classy, fly guy. Go ahead, Sunil.
So you caught my comment up in the chat when I said how are Michael Tonkin and the Fugees alike?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Both are killing me softly with their stuff.
Yeah. Hey, you're looking good, Sunil. You still losing weight? Look at you. You're looking fly over there.
Well, Hector's over there looking like bearded Stanton and everything.
Inspirations, huh? Yeah.
I got me a sauna t-shirt. You know, get yourself a sauna t-shirt. You feel me?
All right.
Sweat your life away.
Oh yeah. He's going the Domingo Herman route, basically drink and then go into the sauna. I get it.
Drumming my pain with his fingers.
Wow.
Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead, Grace.
Take over.
So now let's get some predictions. Let's get back to the Yankees before we wrap things up. Let's get your predictions tonight, Mr. Dean Kramer. What are we doing up against him?
He's not going beyond the 3rd inning. 6 runs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with
6
runs and
let's go.
Nestor Cortez is gonna shake, rattle, and roll with some of those leg kicks. He's got to go back with the Super Mario leg kick shenanigans.
Let's see how many lefties they have in the lineup tonight to go against Nestor Cortez. They had 7 in the lineup yesterday. Let's see how many they throw up in tonight's lineup. Sunil, before we let you go, any issues with Aaron Boone and the way he's been handling the bullpen? Are you okay with it so far?
Take away 1 O from his last name. You get what I think about him. His moves sometimes. Bonehead.
A bonehead.
I'm right there with all of Damien Serrano's takes. He basically read my mind like an open book. I don't think I've got much more to say than that. I mean, come on, dude. Bring in Michael Tonkins in the extra innings when you have a lead in Milwaukee. Yeah, you won the next 2 games by blowouts. I get it. Congratulations. You can't be blowing those games with this guy, man. This guy's been DFA'd by practically entire Major League Baseball. I mean, when you're getting DFA'd by the Mets twice, that says it all.
How bad do you have to be to get DFA'd by the Mets?
Oh God, he got
twice.
DFA'd by most of Major League Baseball. That's the funny thing about it. Sunil, brother, appreciate you. We got to bring up Caputo. Go ahead.
You're one more DFA from getting me to make my Victor Potato face.
Sunil, appreciate you, my guy. You have yourself a good morning. That's my guy, Sunil. Always a bundle of joy. Michael Caputo, let me get a thumbs up before we bring you up. Caputi, last person on the open panel. Say something good so we can wrap things up and go. Go ahead, Caputo.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Grace. Hey,
what's up, Caputo?
Hey, Hector. How you doing?
I'm feeling
I
good,
think
bro.
we're going to win today. I think we'll be all right. I'm going to say 6-2. 6-2 today.
All right. I like that.
All right. I
want to see this offense get better. I'm a little disappointed with this offense. I hope it's better because it's been very inconsistent, but you know, it's one game. I think they'll bounce back. Worst case scenario, they split. Hopefully, you know, I won 3 out of 4, but you got Corbin Burns pitching tomorrow, so hopefully it's 3 out of 4. But I'll take a split. But
yeah.
Are you still Caputo? Are you still positive on this team? Are you changed your mind, or how are you?
Caputo is still. First of all, I just want to give my guy Caputo his flowers. Everybody in the chat, give my guy Caputo his flowers. He's co-hosting Yankee Spaces on Twitter and shit, holding it down. Caputo keeping the conversation. Caputo, appreciate you, bro. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm not going to say you turned a new leaf because you've always been who you are, organic and genuine, a diehard Yankee fan. But seeing you on Twitter and stuff like that, I know, you know, his name is Michael Caputo. We give him shit and stuff like that. But going forward, let's just call him Michael, right? Caputo's his last name. Let's just be respectful. Let's just call him Michael going forward. I may throw the Caputis here or there, but Michael, my guy, Mikey, I appreciate you.
Now Michael,
my guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you.
Yeah, definitely. But when it comes to the Orioles bullpen, you see people in the chat giving you your flowers, my guy, giving you your flowers. When it comes to the Baltimore Orioles, their bullpen is shot. That's the one thing that you could point to the Orioles bullpen and you could say is the flaw of their team, right? Even though the Yankees weren't able to punch through late in the game yesterday, we still had a fighting chance, or it felt like we had a fighting chance going up against their bullpen. Today, hopefully Dean Kramer doesn't pitch 8 shutout innings. But if we could get him out of that game after the 5th inning, I think the Yankees will have a nice recipe for success. Caputo, my guy, appreciate you, brother. Let me let you down, and then me, Grace, and TC going to close things out. All right, Mikey?
I'll see you on Twitter.
All right, Mike. Later, bro. That's my guy, Michael. Love my guy, Mike. Grace, I'll throw it over to you, Grace. Great conversation today. Awesome time. Listen, Grace has an open door policy whenever she wants to co-host with me and TC. She is more than welcome every Tuesday and Thursday morning until she gets tired of us and just wants to hang out with Gio only. But Grace, I'll throw it over to you. Your last words for today's show. Go ahead.
My last words for today's show. We're going to win this series against the Orioles. We're going to make a statement. We're going to get back in first place in the division. I really believe that. I know it's going to be hard against Corbin Burns, but we can do it. Daddy Doogie is going to come back and with that daddy energy, and we're going to be on fire. And the least is going to be we're going to split the series, which would still make a statement. And I think we might still be in first if we split the series. I don't know. I'm not good. I don't do math. Okay.
Oh,
but
the math's not mathing.
I don't know. I can't do the math. Okay. But we're going to come out and we're rolling. Torres is rolling. Judge is just right there. Verdugo is going to be back with that daddy energy. Volpe's getting back. You know, they were getting him again with that inside high fastball a couple days ago, but he's locked back down on it. Okay. So he's going to be going. Torres is going to be going. Stanton's already going. Judge is almost going. Let's go. That's what I have to say.
Absolutely. Shout out to my guy, Joe from the shift. Joe, my guy. Salute to you, brother. I miss you, my guy. I hope all is well. Joe, let me know, bro. I'll set this up so you could come on. You could join me, TC, and Grace. So if you want to come on, me and you could rock out. Joe, just let me know. And again, let's go Giants. Let's go Giants. Sorry, Grace. I'm sorry about that. Go
No,
ahead,
I got a Jay impression from the shift. I freaking hope so, Grace.
That was spot on. That was spot on. He put it in the chat right here with the handshaking and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I love Joe, man. Got to tune into Joe. He's on fire. I love that guy.
Yeah.
So for the Yankees, I think the ball's going to bounce our way today. Yesterday we had some bad luck. I think we're going to turn it around. I think Aaron Boone's listening. He's going to have his guys bunting and stealing today. So be on the lookout for some getting some runners and moving on the bases. So I think I'm just right there with Caputo, Michael. His name's Michael. 6-2. I'm going to say the Yankees win 6-2. Nestor has a good game. Goes about 5 1/3, maybe 6 innings. But I like our chances today because tomorrow is going to be a difficult one. So go Yanks.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, same thing. Hopefully Nestor Cortez gives us 6 innings, solid 6 innings, 3 runs. Hopefully we could get Dean Kramer out of the game in the 5th or 6th innings. Hopefully he doesn't shut us out in this game. And I think going forward, there's a recipe. If the Yankees want to win games, just don't play Trent Grisham. You lose every game that Trent Grisham plays. Even the games he hits the home runs, you still lose those games. But until next time, I'm your guy Hector. That's my guy TC. And that's my friend Grace Monroe. You can catch us next time on the Morning Brew Sports Network. Make sure you guys drink your water. Say something nice about yourself. And until next time, doses.